Yasudhanandana Brajajanarandana Yasudhanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatera Vanachari Yamunatera Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astotra Satat Srimad Divine Grace Iskan Brahmacharya Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astotra Satat Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnavin Ki Jai Namacharya Sri Haridas Kaur Ki Jai Prem Sikahao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Sri Gaura Bhaktavin Ki Jai Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Girikavadhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai Samaya Punavadiv Dham Ki Jai Jagannathpura Dham Ki Jai Gangamaya Yamunamaya Ki Jai Samata Tulsi Devi Bhakta Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Veda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Our glories to the sum of devotees, our glories to the sum of devotees, our glories to the sum of devotees, our glories to Sisi Gauranga Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudire Nasta Prayesu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naisiki. So reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 14, Text 1. Title of this chapter is King Chitraketu's Lamentation. Is there some arrangement about translation? Translation?
No, because
Everyone here understands English?
yeah.
Oh, really? You too? Oh, good. Okay. All right, we are good to go. Sri Parikshit Uvacha Rajastamas Sabhavasya Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha Narayane Bhagavati Katamasi Dridamati Sri Parikshit Uvacha Rajastama Swabhavasya Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha Narayane Bhagavati Katamasi Dridamati Sri Parikshit Uvacha Rajastama Swabhavasya Brahman Vritrasya Papmanaha Narayane Bhagavati Katamasi Dridamati. Yes.
Shri
Ladies, our mothers, any more ladies? All right, word for word translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Confounded Acharya, Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you. Sri Parikshit Uvacha. King Parikshit inquired. Rajaha of the mode of passion. Tamaha of the mode of ignorance. Swabhavasya having a nature. Brahman, O learned Brahmana. Vritrasya of Vritrasura. Papmanaha who was supposedly sinful. Narayane in Lord Narayan. Bhagavati the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Katam how as it was there. Drida very strong. Matihi consciousness. Translation. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadev Goswami, O learned Brahmana, demons are generally sinful, being obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. How then could Vritrasura have attained such exalted love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Narayan. Please kindly responsibly repeat. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadev Goswami. O learned Brahmana, demons are generally sinful, being obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. How then could Vritrasura have attained such exalted love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Narayan. Purport. In this material world, everyone is obsessed with the modes of passion and ignorance. However, unless one conquers these modes and comes to the platform of goodness, there is no chance of one's becoming a pure devotee. This is confirmed by Lord Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 28. Yesham tvam tagatam papam jananam punya karmanam tedvandra moha mukta bhajanti mam drida vrataha. Translation: persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Since Vritasura was among the demons, Maharaja Parikshit wondered how it was possible for him to have become such an exalted devotee. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyana Janasalakaya Saksura Medita Yena Tasmai Si Gurave Namaha Sujeta Mano Vista Stapeta Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamaya Vedati Swa Padantika Anchakalpatari Vichara Tanam Pavana Vaishnava Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pisa Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itina Namaste Saraswati Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodita Gradaya Pasmavantu Chitu Chaitanya. So, this text 1 is beginning with inquiries from Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit was listening to the narratives or the narration of Vritasura, being just an exalted devotee of the Lord. So he wondered, and this is what in India is very common. Someone sends you a message on WhatsApp or on Facebook and say, Maharaj, I have a doubt. It's a common language in India. I have a doubt. You want to ask a long question at the beginning with I have a doubt. So Parikshit Maharaj had a doubt. What? This guy is a demon. How is it that all these wonderful attributes of devotional perfection are imbued in him? I want to understand. I'm confused. You know, in America, common ways that people expressing themselves in disagreement with what you say or getting some clarification is, Maharaj, I'm confused. So in different cultures, people have different ways to express themselves when they want to get some clarification, you know. In India, I have a doubt. In America, I'm confused. So, I don't know what is obtainable in Germany, yeah? So, Maharaj Parikshit was favored by the Lord because Sukadeva Goswami, the learned Brahmin, perfected soul, he was perfected right from the womb. He was in the womb for how many years? 16 years. Is it true? Do you agree with what he said? Why? Why you agree with him?
He said 16 years he was in the womb.
So you said you agreed with him. Why do you agree with him?
Maharaj Parikshit was in the no.
Oh, you have a doubt?
I
Why? Because this is Shastra. It's there in the Shastra. It's there in the Bhagavatam. Okay? So, yes, Sukadeva Goswami was afraid to come out to face the rigors, the palpitations of the illusory energy. Even in the womb, he was seeing. He could see. And so, not to speak of coming out. So he said, oh, my God, better to be here. But eventually he has to come. So, and Sukadeva Goswami, he was born, and he just grew to up to the age of 16, Yavana. And then he walked out from the house, naked. A new baby now. Yeah, he walked out. But he's a youth. Because he stayed in the womb for 16 years. All of those developments, they just come automatically when he was born. It's like a disease called progeria. Progeria is a disease where someone is born, by the age 15, he's already grown up, old and wean and start dwindling and then dies. But his case was not a progeria. It's just that he was in the womb for 16 years. And when he came out, he has to undergo that development to cover up. So, Parikshit was to die, and he was blessed with the presence of Sukadeva Goswami to narrate the Bhagavatam to him. So in their discussion, it came to this point, the story of Vritrasura, and so Parikshit has the opportunity to be able to clarify his doubts. Parikshit was speaking with his guru. Sukadeva Goswami was his guru. He was speaking with him. And again, we see it was face-to-face business, face-to-face interaction. No middleman inside. Is that correct? Like Arjuna and Krishna. It was face-to-face, okay? One-on-one, yeah. It's not like the guru has passed away. Okay, I'm a disciple of Prabhupada. Did you meet Prabhupada? No. What is that? Yeah, our system, because of the organizational structure, we have it that the devotee comes in the beginning, he takes shelter of Prabhupada at least for the first 6 months. He chants Prabhupada's pranams. Then he makes some decisions who to align with amongst the spiritual matters, representatives of Prabhupada. It doesn't mean that someone comes today and he says, Prabhupada is my guru. He's our original founder guru. But we need to work under the guidance of somebody. So Sukadeva Goswami was guiding Parikshit. He was going to quit his body in 7 days. So, again, Parikshit was blessed. So-called chaos was actually a blessing because now, then he got to understand, I have 7 days more to live. What should I do with the rest of my life? So, he was asking Sukadeva Goswami, and at this point they are discussing, this dialogue was centered on Vritrasura. Vritrasura, in the Bhagavatam, is mentioned in previous chapter. It's mentioned how Vritrasura, it's actually Vitadara. Vitadara, heavenly beings. So, and he was very devoted to the Lord. Heavenly beings, very difficult to be devoted to the Lord, because there is so much of enjoyment facilities. I mean, it's like someone has so much of opulence on this planet, it is very difficult to even have access to them to introduce Krishna consciousness to them. Not to speak of they becoming practitioners of Krishna consciousness. But Vitadara is a typical example. I mean, Chitraketu was a typical example of someone who was living in opulence, but he was still very much avowed devotee of the Lord, dedicated devotee of the Lord. Yes, there was so much of enjoyment on the as a visitor. There are so many women. The women in those ranks, they don't get old. And they're superlatively beautiful. No matter how strong a brahmachari you are, it could be difficult. So Chitraketu was hanging out with all these beautiful women in his airplane, and then he came to the Sumeru area, and he encountered an assembly where Lord Shiva was there amongst the sages, Siddhas, Chandaras, and so many other personalities, not on this planet, some higher planet. And Chitraketu, he saw Lord Shiva embracing Parvati. Parvati is his wife. What is the problem? It's my wife. I'm embracing him. So what? I'm embracing her. So what is the problem? You see how Krishna designs his stuff. And the whole Chitraketu being caused by Parvati was orchestrated by Vishnu. He wanted, Vishnu Chakravarti in his commentary, he said that actually Vishnu orchestrated his whole team because he wanted Chitraketu to come back to him as soon as possible. Therefore, the only way to do it is that, he commits an offense against Lord Shiva, he gets an immediate cause, and then he takes the body of a demon, and he will get killed by Indra. He got liberated. So, here, Maharaja Parikshit is making these humble inquiries to clarify his doubt. The point here is clarification of doubts. If someone asks us a question, it means the person is intelligent. See, one of the things I studied when I was doing, for instance, my master's program was critical and creative thinking. And in critical and creative thinking, a paragraph of 5 sentences, your professor will ask you to generate like 35 questions in a paragraph of 5 sentences. It could be in any field, in a science field, literature, art, whatever. You're supposed to think out, generate questions. That's critical thinking. So we understand that to ask a question is not that easy. Anyone can answer a question if you know the subject matter. Anybody cannot, not everyone can ask a question. Some people, they even have some doubts, but they don't know how to frame their questions. Therefore, they are jittery. They can't ask their question. And so, asking questions and responding to questions is one of our processes of learning. This is also in pedagogy. It's also there in andragogy. There are 2 major approaches to learning. There is the andragogy and there is the pedagogy. Pedagogy means the professor comes to the class, he downloads all this stuff, and then that's it. The learner is considered to be like a blank slate. But in andragogy, this is what is common in Hare Krishna society. They are all matured people, learned people. Sometimes the people who are listening to the class, they are more learned in the subject matter than even the person who is speaking. So this is andragogy. The people, they know the subject matter, but then they listen. And if they're there to make some contribution, they make the contribution. This is adult education. So what was going on between Parikshit and Sukadeva Goswami was andragogical approach to learning. It was not pedagogy. That's the point. So, and in andragogy, basically the the person who is delivering the talk is considered to be a facilitator, not a teacher, because they have different connotations. A teacher and a facilitator, a professor, they have different connotations in education completely. So, Parikshit there was like a facilitator, so he understands that. I mean, Sukadeva Goswami was just there as a facilitator. But Parikshit considered him his guru, so he's making his clarifications. And Sukadeva Goswami was very humble and patient. And he would respond to any questions that Parikshit may have. He would respond. This is the quality of a genuine facilitator, a genuine professor, a genuine teacher, a genuine educator. They're patient and they address your questions. If they don't know, they say, I'm going to ask other people to find out answer to this question. They don't claim that they know everything. No one is omniscient. It's only Krishna who is omniscient. Let's get these points clear. We are not omniscient. Krishna is. And the one who is empowered by the Lord is worshipped like the Lord himself. Because he embodies all those qualities. Being able to deliver the good. So, essentially, the very concept of inquiries entails a lot of things. Because if you don't understand the subject matter, you want some clarification, that's a good point. If you don't understand the subject matter and you just keep mute, that is very bad. That is not encouraging in learning. And therefore, the very approach of Parikshit Maharaj in trying to get clarification to his doubts, this is authorized in andragogical learning process. And so, just like Maharaj Parikshit has some doubts, we also will have some doubts. And we need someone to clarify our doubts. And that's the guru. And that's the teacher, the spiritual master, or our mentor. We have three basic principles: the sadhu, guru, sadhu, and sastra. So if you read the books, sometimes you dash into some things some questions that we are bugging in mind, and you say, oh, I got the answer to my question. And sometimes some devotee speaks, and you say, oh, he or she spoke exactly what I've been trying to figure out. I got it. Or you can ask direct questions from your mentor, the person who is guiding you, or your spiritual master. This is exactly what Parikshit Maharaj is doing. So Chitraketu, Vritrasura, he was so-called demon, but this is is a theater art. It's a theater art. Lord Vishnu wanted Chitraketu to come back to him. And the way he figured out that could expedite the process is to go through this short route. Go commit offense against Lord Shiva. And even when Chitraketu was cursed, he didn't care. He was speaking philosophy. In response, instead of begging or saying, "Oh, Mataji, why do you do this to me? I thought you are, the concept of Lord Shiva, you're supposed to have, tolerance." No, he didn't speak philosophy like that. He said, "Yeah, I know. See, we live in a material world. We are impelled to act in certain ways, and the reactions also will come. So I get it." So he was not blaming anybody. Sometimes we get some challenge, we get some problem, and then we start blaming people. He didn't blame God. He didn't blame poverty. But traditionally, traditionally, when we have a challenge, when we have a problem, and someone we know is responsible, we blame the person. Why you do this to me? Why this? Why this? But Chitraketu did not do. He did not do like that. See, to become a devotee is not a joke. It's not a joke. How is it that someone will inflict some pain on you and you will not blame the person? I remember one devotee, he's a Swami now, a guru also in ISKCON. So he told me a story. Before he became a devotee, he went to some, they were traveling, himself and his brother. They were traveling. So at the park, before they went to the park to board a vehicle, commercial vehicle, and at the park, or something like that, yeah, at the park, somebody's car, the windscreen of somebody's car was broken by a lunatic or some drunkard. So the guy came and he saw how his windscreen was broken, and he was not reactive at all. He was not reactive at all. So they were shocked. In fact, the guy was speaking that, yeah, I meditate more than this. This is a token of what I'm supposed to have gotten. So that himself and his brother, they thought, what? At that time, they didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness philosophy. They didn't know anything about karma and all these things. But that guy who owns that car must have had a higher understanding of knowledge, values, and actions and reactions. So he was very proactive to what happened to him. Chitraketu also was very proactive. There are two ways to respond to situations. Whether we can be reactive or proactive. Proaction means we don't blame the person supposedly who caused our misery, who caused the violence. And reaction means we inflict perhaps double what we received. Sometimes it's called overreaction. Yeah. So Chitraketu also demonstrated that proaction, and in general, people who are not imbued with saintly qualities, they are not proactive. They are always reactive. We see this in family life, in the communities. Parents to their children, no, they are not proactive. The parents, in most cases, they think it's not right. I can just be reactive all the time. The child does something silly, they immediately they become reactive. But two wrongs cannot make a right. So the point is, and it's so funny, what parents do. It's so funny what parents do. That, most parents, they think that being reactive is their birthright. No, but that is due to the conditioning of the mode of passion and ignorance. In the Prabhupada mentions this material world, we are obsessed with passion and ignorance. So the child does something silly. Yeah, your child will do something silly. So what? Or your spouse may do something silly. Yes. So what? You have to be reactive? No. This is a test of time, and people fail this litmus test all the time. Oh yeah. Now, for devotees, here is our watchword. Krishna said, Tam titikshasva bharata, isn't it? Is that not? Yeah. So your child is excluded from that very principle of Tam titikshasva bharata. Your child is excluded from that. If your child creates something that angers you, should you be reactive? No, that is counterproductive to what Krishna says in the Gita by implication of the term Tam Titikshasva Bharata. First, it's like a test given to you. Material energy has arranged some tests, or Krishna has arranged some tests for you. But it's through your own loved one, whether you will fail or pass the test. Now the ball is in your court. And in most cases, we fail the test. We get angry and spank and do this and do that. We think this is the way to correct the child. But no, you failed your test, your own test, you failed it. Or your spouse does something silly and then, in cultures where physical abuse is rampant, they pounce on, if it's a woman, they pounce on her because you have a higher strength. That is being reactive. And so what we learn from Chitraketu's case, from the background of the story, is that when even he was cursed, he was proactive. He backed up himself with philosophy. He said, yeah, we live in a material world. This is expected. this is expected, yeah. We go from, 0 to 1 and back to 0 and like that. So there are a lot of implications in just one text, one chapter, and what about the whole of the Bhagavatam? So this scenario here, Prabhupada mentions about how obsessed the conditioned soul is with the mode of passion and ignorance. And most of our activities are just controlled by Raja and Tamago, are under the influence of Raja and Tamago. And sometimes people are very proud out there. They say, I have a passion for it. I have passion for it. They're proud of it, They're obsessed with passion. But one has to cultivate devotional practices that will leverage the living entity or the embodied self to the platform of goodness. Then we can decipher between what is good and what is bad. Then we will be able to practice a culture of proaction. Then we will be able to align, subscribe, and practice the very conceptualization of Tam Titikshasva Bharata. Otherwise, it's a joke, big joke. We must speak it, repeat it, preach it. But if someone does something to us, it's a different thing, we forget. Or sometimes we think, we didn't even think about it, that very statement is applicable to everyday reality, everyday interactions, how we respond to people's actions, how we respond to people's modus operandi and modus vivendi. Because we are obsessed with the mode of passion and ignorance, proaction becomes a far out thing. But in devotional life, we are blessed by the best. Lord Krishna has provided all of the ingredients, the necessary tools. We've been given an opportunity. Prabhupada set up his movement in such a way that from the time we rise up, we cultivate sadhana that will enable us to come to that platform of goodness where we will proudly, without any strenuous effort, exude goodness. And we can act like Chitraketu. Okay, no problem. I mean, you curse me, no problem. You curse me now? No problem. This is material world. I expected this. It's tough. See, we see how devotional service is tough. Yeah. Anybody can wake up in the dead of night and chant 108 rounds. per day. There are people who chant 108 rounds. I know some of them in India. Yeah. But you see, how to become purified and really practice even one line of teachings of Lord Krishna in the Gita or in the Bhagavatam, or implement any of these relevant stories, leelas we hear with the Lord and His devotees in our lives. So Chitraketu, there are a lot of things we can learn from Chitraketu's situation. And the doubts raised by Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami clearly delineates. Commentators like Vishwanath Chakravarti could also make that, a powerful input by bringing to bear how Lord Vishnu is the orchestrator of all these so-called cause of Chitraketu to become Vritrasura. I think the other day someone was asking Nabin about, how could, Indra be held responsible for this? Or why would Indra do this? Yet the Lord designed it, and He wants Chitraketu He wants Vritrasura, who was Chitraketu in his previous life, became. So here is another point, that because we are devoted, it doesn't mean that if we come into offenses that we will not get the reactions. No. Because we are devotees, we should know better. Just like an attorney or a public defender or a lawyer who goes to the court to advocate for litigants. It doesn't. If they commit offense, it doesn't mean that the judge will set them free. Even the cops will not set them free. They'll be indicted. So does not mean because we are devotees, we are trying to be devotees, and then we go and commit some crimes or commit offenses against somebody, and we'll be exonerated. No, we'll get some response. So we see the case of Chitraketu. He was a great devotee, and even Lord Krishna designed, Lord Vishnu orchestrated it. He arranged it for his offense. Okay, this is a really beautiful word. It's okay. Lord Vishnu orchestrated it. Orchestrated. Why does Chitraketu have to bear the consequence? We could say, Vishnu is the one who orchestrated it for him to commit this offense against Lord Shiva, to go and laugh at Lord Shiva embracing Parvati, and Parvati cursing him. Vishnu is the one behind it. Why should this man is just used as a tool? So why should he get the punishment? I mean, it's like the Brahmanas instructed King Indra to kill Vritrasura, and Indra has to suffer some reaction. Come on, the Brahmanas instructed him. You see how dicey the material world is? Pada pada hi vi pada. Is it a place to stay? I don't think so, because because everything is so dicey, You got inspired to do something, you're not free from the reactions. You got instructed to do something, you're not free from the reactions. By even the Brahmanas. So we have to take advantage that what advantage are we going to take from this? The only way we can become deep obsessed from the mode of passion and ignorance is devotional service. And devotional service comes with a lot of scientifically based or scientifically proven positive side effects. Yeah, for instance, someone is chanting, it will help in minimizing mental health issues like stress, anxiety, depression. It has also been, I was mentioning this the other day, it has also been documented by some professors, some researchers, that the chanting helps to improve attention span, which is a prerequisite for high productivity and high performance, even in education, academic performance, and professional development. So this, we don't seek for this. Our intention is to chant and become perfected, to attain pure love for Krishna, pure Krishna prema, puma truma. But look, there are so many concomitant factors. They just come along the way that you desire for them. And so, the obsession with the modes of passion and ignorance is so difficult to deal with. Lord Krishna says that it's difficult for one to become free from the modes of material nature except someone is surrendered to him. The process of surrendering this yoga is to chant Krishna's names. And so we have to take it as the primary religion for the age. Now if we can chant in the morning before 7:15, if we can chant our first 16 rounds before 7:15, that would be a great step towards preparing for the day. Oh yeah. And your life will never be the same if you do that. You a whole day you'll be very focused and happy in whatever you do. Obsession, modes of passion, ignorance will go away. Srila Prabhupada. Any comments or questions? Yes.
You were mentioning about Chitragate to be expecting to be cursed in the material world.
Huh?
You're mentioning about Maharaj Chitragate, he expected a reversal because it's the material world. Why, when we practice devotional service, we expect a good life in the material world?
Yeah, you see, for the advanced devotee, they know that material world is pada pada hi vipada. In most cases, they realize it. And for some people, they have a misunderstanding. They think, we come to devotional service. Look, I've been suffering there too much, and so I come here. I think I should not have any disease. I should not have any headache. I should not. Devotees, I suppose they are all pure devotees, and nobody should give me any anxiety. So I think this is over expectation. Yeah, so when we have over expectation, even in material life, we are looking for trouble. Because then when we get disappointed, we may want to commit suicide. Over expectation is not good. And we have to understand that this material world, if even you're the President of the United States, if you go to prison, you're circumscribed. You're limited. Certain things you cannot do. So we are in the material world. If even we become a pure devotee, we will get old. We will get sick. The body, we're still using the body. So the body is the problem. And therefore, because we are afraid of the worries of the body, we tend to be in a mode of over-expectations. And so we should be practical, we should be realistic. That, yes, although I'm performing devotional service, I will still have to pass through the pangs. How I accept this thing is what matters. Yeah. We should not think, okay, because I'm chanting Krishna's name, nobody should really come to give me any trouble. Krishna said he will protect his devotees. I remember the devotee who first took me out on Sankirtan when I joined, and he actually taught me deity worship. He told me a story. They went out to preach, to do book distribution, and in a park, in a motor park, he was giving a book, one of Prabhupada's books, to one military guy. And you know what the military guy did to him? He just gave him the dirtiest slap of his life. He fell down. He fell down. You know, military guys, and the military guy was really huge. He fell down. So he got up. You know what he did? Guess what he did? He said, "Thank you, sir." So one could be thinking, well, I'm a devotee, I will not have any problems, you know. I'm going to distribute Krishna's holiness, Krishna's knowledge. Well, no problem, I shouldn't have any problem. But no, there are problems everywhere in the material world. Some of our devotees were put in jail for distributing books at the airport, or something like that. So many cases. When I was managing temples, you know, and you see, one of the things I came from a background. When I was a young man, I was working for the judiciary, and because of the manipulation in the judicial system, when expert lawyers come and they come to defend somebody who is even a criminal, there may be some discrepancies in the evidences presented by the prosecutor. And he picks on that. The lawyer picks on small discrepancy. Okay, one of the witnesses said, "Oh, they fought at the veranda." Another witness said they fought in the parlor. The point is, a fight took place. A fight took place. But because there's a discrepancy in the evidence, one of the witnesses said the fight took place in the sitting room. The other witness said at the veranda. Then the lawyer picks up this. He said, "My lordship, there is a discrepancy in this prosecution witness. Therefore, I plead that this matter should be struck out. Discrepancy in evidence." And the judge says, "Accused discharged." It's not that he didn't commit the crime. Small discrepancy. You see how the laws of the material world are better than the laws of nature? Yeah, there could be some excuse, you can get out. If you have some expert guy who come to defend you. But the laws of nature proper says they are very stringent. No lawyer can manipulate anything. The guys who are in charge, Maharaja Gupta and is what's his name? Yamaraj and his people. No, he cannot manipulate. You cannot manipulate them. Yeah. So we're not living. We tend to be very, free, and but we are not so free because we've been watched every here and there. And every action we perform matters a lot. We're responsible for our actions. Important thing is to build up a culture of devotion which embodies, tolerance, proaction, compassion, love, and being friendly with all living entities. Krishna is Suridam Sarvabhuta. If someone is our friend, we will not try, they will not offend us. They will be careful. All right? Any other comment or question before we leave? Yes.
What is
the fate of a person who commits some offenses to some devotees, but at the same time, during the course of his service, but at the same time, with that service, he also pleases so many other devotees and gets blessings from them as well. So what is the such a person?
Yeah. Okay, the typical analogy here I can give is that the case of King Iriga. King Iriga gave cows out for charity. Cows. He was a rich king, gave cows out for charity. But then there was a little mistake. Well, one of the cows strayed from one Brahmin's barn to another Brahmin cowhead. And then they were arguing. Oh, you stole my cow. And then they came to meet King Iriga. This King Iriga said, oh, he was the cause. He accepted responsibility. But even after accepting responsibility, Maharaja did not let him go free. He said, oh, you caused these two Brahmins to fight. So it's an offense. So he paid the price for it. And his good works, Maharaja first asked him, now, you have a lot of pious accumulation of pious merit, but he did small mistake too. He did some small mistake. Yes, you do this service very nicely. You did your service very nicely. But you also offended one devotee. So you get some punishment, small punishment for that. Which one you want first? And King Iriga said, let me get the punishment first. So from that King Iriga's case, we'll find that, see, managing devotees, in fact, management in general, and position of management, leadership in the world, is very, very dangerous, very dicey. I remember when I was in college, in my class, there were all these, mostly it was counseling, psychology of adjustment class. So mostly ladies, beautiful ladies. So they came to me and said I should be, because at that time I was practicing Krishna consciousness, that they came to me and said I should be their cause rep. I said, no, on my dead body, I will never be the cause, this class cause rep. So they said, what? We beautiful ladies, we're coming to beg you to be a cause rep? That's what they told me. They said, we beautiful ladies, we came to you to beg you to be a cause rep, and you refuse it? So doing services is really, really very dangerous, The devotees who are doing services, other devotees should help them to cooperate, because it's a thankless service. And devotees should just cooperate. Because otherwise you put these devotees who are sacrificing their time, sacrificing their resources in helping to set things up, manage things, lead the community, you put them in anxiety, you put them into crossroads, you put them into problems. Yeah. Yes, you wanted to ask a question?
I remember when I was, before I was aspiring doctor, when I did some sins or some offenses, they came very late, the reactions. But after I became a devotee, it's like within 24 hours, it must happen like this. Within 24 hours, really. When I do some little offenses to a devotee or something, it happened quickly. So my question is, how is that like? Why is it like that? Is it?
Yeah, that is good, because it does not take you to the next stage. Then you also understand. You will not be confused. You will not be in confusion about what. Come on, I'm a good guy. Why am I so? Why is this happening to me? So I think that is the best reciprocation from Krishna, that you get some token of the reactions to what we do, or the offense we commit to anybody. Because if we take it, for instance, we are not practicing. It might not come immediately. It might come after a long time, or even maybe after the next life, because the thing just build up, accumulate in bed. In this life, for every devotee, for anyone who is serious, it's like a crash program. A crash program. A crash program means a course you're supposed to do and graduate in 5 years to get your degree. If you are doing a crash program on that, maybe you have to do it in 2.5 years or 3 years. So you have all of this coursework bunched, loaded. This is what we are passing through. So we may even seem to suffer more than the people, non-devotees out there. The other people out there, they are going their normal life. They are not in a crash program. They have to come back, several lifetimes and all those things. Yeah. So let's get these points clear so that we don't keep on lamenting. I've been a devotee for 20 years, 30 years, 10 years. Why am I still suffering? Why, Krishna, what is going on? I thought you said you're going to, pulverize all my sinful reactions. Yeah. We have to understand, we are on a crash program. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.